Would you risk your sanity for $600,000? The challenge begins inside a massive steel dome, designed to distort sound and light until your mind starts to bend. The rules are simple. Survive 7 stages of psychological chaos without quitting, and the entire $600,000 is yours. Step inside contestant 1 is a professional illusionist who claims his mind cannot be broken. The first stage is called Echo Chamber, where every word he speaks bounces back at him, layered over distorted whispers of his own voice. He laughs at first, but after 20 minutes, his smile starts to twitch. You can see him trying to talk to himself for comfort, but the voices are multiplying. Now the walls begin to move, not physically, but through light illusions that warp perspective until up feels like down, and the floor seems to melt. He falls to his knees, gripping his head. This is just stage 1. You can quit any time, but if you do, you lose everything. He looks into the camera and whispers, "I am fine." Jimmy just nods and says, "That is 1 minute in. We have 6 more traps to go." Stage 2 is called Mirror Maze. The entire room is lined with mirrors that slowly begin to change the reflection, showing him versions of himself doing things he never did. Smiling when he is not moving. Frowning when he feels calm. He touches the mirror, and the reflection touches him back with a delay. He tries to breathe deeply, but every breath echoes louder than thunder. His brain is playing tricks on him, and the lights start pulsing like a heartbeat. Jimmy calls out from the speaker, "You can walk out with 50,000 right now, or go deeper." He shakes his head. "No chance I am staying. The prize is now at 600,000, but his sanity is slipping." He stumbles out of the maze and into the next room. Stage 3 is total silence. The contestant walks into a soundproof cube. No sound, no light, just a faint glow of red from the walls. Every 10 seconds, the lights flash. Random words on the wall. Paranoia, hallucination, identity. He sits in the dark for 3 minutes, which feels like an hour. The camera zooms in on his eyes. They are twitching. You can tell he is beginning to imagine sounds. He looks up suddenly. "Did you hear that?" Jimmy asks over the intercom. "Hear what?" There is nothing but silence. The contestant starts to shout but cannot hear his own voice. He punches the wall and the lights cut out completely. This is sensory deprivation at its worst. The goal is to last 5 minutes. He lasts 7 and walks out, trembling, clutching the doorframe. Jimmy grins. "That was insane. You just beat stage 3. Stage 4 starts with an unexpected twist. We blindfold him and spin him 10 times before removing the blindfold. He finds himself on a narrow walkway surrounded by fog. Below him is a digital projection of a deep pit, and from the walls come distorted voices of friends and family calling his name, pleading for help. It is not real, but his brain cannot tell. He starts walking, and the walkway moves slightly each step. He looks like he is floating in space. He shouts, "Stop it! Stop it!" But the voices only get louder. Jimmy yells from across the stage, "Remember, it is all in your mind." The contestant drops to his knees, screaming. Then silence again. He breathes heavy, but makes it to the end, collapsing on the floor. $600,000 is still in play, but his nerves are cracking. Stage 5 is a room full of television screens playing loops of himself from earlier moments. His voice repeats over and over. "Would you risk your sanity for $600,000 until it becomes a chant?" The footage begins to distort, and his face melts into static. He closes his eyes, but the sounds of his own laughter echo from behind him. He tries to smash the screens, but every hit makes the laughter louder. He covers his ears. Jimmy's voice cuts in through the intercom. "You can leave with half the money or stay for the final 2 stages." The contestant's face tightens. "I am not leaving for half." He walks toward the next door, shaking his head as if to clear it. Stage 6. The isolation chamber. The temperature drops to freezing. He stands inside as the walls project illusions of insects crawling across the surface. He knows it is fake, but the visuals are too real. He starts pacing, muttering numbers to stay focused. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything to keep his mind steady. His breath fogs in the air. He slaps his face to stay awake. Jimmy calls through the speaker. "You got 2 minutes left. You can still walk out with 400,000. The contestant just laughs a strange, hollow laugh and mutters, "It is just a game, right? Just a game." He pushes through to the final door. The final stage is called The Choice. Inside the room sits $600,000 in cash, stacked in a glass box. The only problem is that to open the box, he must wear noise-canceling headphones and repeat a random phrase that will be whispered into his ear for 2 minutes straight. The phrase is, "You are not real." The voice begins soft and calm, then becomes distorted and harsh, repeating the same words faster and faster. "You are not real. You are not real." The contestant clutches the headset, eyes wide as the sound grows unbearable. Jimmy watches from the monitor, whispering, "This is it. Will he make it?" He reaches the end of the 2 minutes, gasping, tears streaming down his face. He rips the headset off and collapses beside the cash, trembling. Jimmy walks in slowly, places a hand on his shoulder and says, "You did it. You survived every stage and kept your sanity intact, mostly." The contestant nods, weakly, barely able to stand. "$600,000 is yours," Jimmy says. "But more importantly, you still remember who you are?" The contestant looks into the camera, whispering, "I think so." The crowd cheers as the dome lights blaze around them and the screen fades to black with the words, "Would you risk your sanity for $600,000" flashing across the screen?